Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Power or Might. I, Jonathan Coachman, with Might today and with Booker T. And today on Power and Might, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday on Collision or Hit. Yesterday on Collision or Hit, we saw that Cody Rhodes won the Kingly Thunder, giving him the right to take on Drew McIntyre for the TWF heavyweight winnings, which is held by Drew McIntyre. We do not know how WWE is going to play out their Kingly Thunder or who's going to win theirs at the end of this month. We truly do not know, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, Mike today said there was also some other weird thing that happened yesterday at Collision or Hit, the Royal Rumble or the Kingly Thunder. The Rock made good on his oath. He made Cena Gajora would not win the Kingly Thunder, but there also seems to be where he wanted to help his near kin Roman Reigns out. Only Roman Reigns wasn't going for it, and they got into a fight. Well, I can tell you one thing. I don't know what's going on there, and hopefully Rocky Maivia, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever you want to call him, Mike today said, hopefully he's going to have a saga to tell for all this. Yeah, I tell you one thing, Booker T said, I have known The Rock since 2001 while, and my first run in WWE, and my 2th run in WWE, so I know all about how he's good at spinning things. And I know The Rock made good on his oath to make Cena Gajora would not win the Kingly Thunder, and he did not. Now, if that means there's a bind in the Amua fought to Maivia Johnson kin, then I'm quite unaware of it, Booker T says. But I do think that it was the right thing, for him to make scene that Gajora did not win the Kingly Thunder. So, Booker T, that's going to be your thought, your belief, your take on it, but you have no truth on it. And here comes the so-called great one, the folks fighter, the Brahma Bull, the last head. Alright, everyone. Everyone wants to know, is there a bind in the Amua fought to Maivia Johnson kin? And I'm here to tell you, no, there's not. I made good on my oath to throw Gajora, King of the Fiends, Kaiser of the Fiends, whatever you want to call him, and I made scene that Lindworm, deadweight, whatever he is, did not win the Kingly Thunder. And he did not. Now when it comes to my bind with my so-called near kin, Roman Reigns, I am here to tell you that everything is all right in the Afua fought to Maivia Johnson kin. Everything is good in that kin. Hey, Rock, or Rocky Maivia, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever you want to call yourself these days. You like to go around and say you're the great one. But no one called you the great one? How did you get called the great one? And how did you start calling yourself the folks fighter, when the true folks fighter was Muhammad Ali? And if we go far in that, you took that from Diamond Dallas Page when he was in WCW, and he was calling himself the folks fighter long before you started calling yourself that. Then you called yourself the Brahma Bull. What the hell that was, I don't know. Then you gave yourself a new nickname, because you're always good at coming up with bullshit, and your new nickname was the Last Head. Like it was some kind of film game, and you were going to take more hits before you went down like everyone else. But then the truth is that you fought by throwing me out of Kingly Thunder. You fought Rocky Maivia, which we all know you hated being called that. You know, you like to call yourself The Rock, what the fuck that was. And then you call yourself Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Whatever you want to call yourself, I don't care. This isn't over between us. As far as I'm aware of, it's over between us, Godzilla. I got even. How did you get even, Rock? You didn't get even. All those times when we warred, starting from between 98 YL to 20 YL, 2001 YL, we didn't get along. You didn't win nothing, Rock. Is that so? Because if I could think my mind back, I was the one who beat you for the TWF and their land body winnings when that was a thing. Yes, it's true the film's gone, somewhere in some landfill somewhere. But it did happen, and I did beat you. You want to have another match with me here today? Rocky, because you stole that from Rocky Balboa from the Rocky Balboa films. Nothing about you is the truth is, Rock, nothing you say or do, Rock, comes off being the first. You always gotta steal from someone else. Alright, Godzilla, I'll have another match with you, and this time, I will beat you. Well, we're gonna see, Booker T. We'll see if it happens. Now tell me, Jonathan Coachman, said Booker T, you were in the ring with The Rock. You warred with The Rock in the beginning of your early run in WWF, right? Yes, I did war with him when I first came to WWF, and I was in the WCW ECW bond. We had many matches together. And sadly, I never beat him in any of them. Well, there was the Lights Out match on SmackDown before SummerSlam of that year. Well, Mike today says The Rock seems to think, oh, rock bottom, stone bottom on Godzilla. The Rock seems to think highly of himself these days, Mike today says, coming up with cool nicknames. Think he's the king or the Kaiser of the slight. Well, now he's going to do what was formerly known as a folk's elbow. Oh, it was never the folk's elbow, Jonathan Coachman says. Okay, 1, 2 and a kick out. There was only a 2. And it's going to piss off The Rock because he believes that the stone bottom and the folk's elbow should put Godzilla away. Now he's slapping him again. Now he's going to seek to put him in a sharpshooter, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, Mike today says he couldn't really get Godzilla in the sharpshooter due to how Godzilla's doll was made and due to how Hasbro, or is it Mattel, made that, or Jax made that doll. Oh, down goes Godzilla, hit him with his tail and down he went, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, Mike today says Godzilla is getting Godzilla, whatever you want to call him, got The Rock in down. And neither man has really gotten a true win over each other. They might be evened, Mike today says. Here we go, the stunner. The ring almost fell off. And the Fight Lord fell down by mistake, Jonathan Coachman says. Yeah, he hit him with the stunner, or the neck breaker, or whatever you want to call it, Mike today says. The Disco Inferno did it in WCW. It was called The Last Dance, The Last Step. Yeah, Booker T says. And you're right. Godzilla isn't the first. Mikey Riff Raff did that in ECW. Here we go. 1, 2, and a kick out. So tell me, who's the first here? Because Godzilla behaves like he's Steve Austin, Booker T says. And I can tell you didn't really have a lot of good friends with him. A side slam. On The Rock. So Jonathan Coachman, you said you didn't have a really good time with Steve Austin. No, me and Steve Austin warred in the beginning of of 2001 YL, and we ended warring by the end of 20 YL as well. He beat me up in a food shop once, and no one can make up their mind what food shop it was. The Rock is in a bind right now, and God Jorah's going to get ready to hit the stunner again. Oh, The Rock just, what the hell, The Rock just low struck Godzilla, or God Jorah, and now he just hit him with the rock bottom, Jonathan Coachman says. The stone bottom. This match is over. Yes, it is, Mike today said. The Rock cheated. What a shock there. 1, 2, 3. Yay, Booker T says. Here is your winner, The Rock. Well, The Rock has beat God Jorah, or Godzilla, King of the Fiends, here today on Powerrr Might. And you know, that might not go down very well. And the only helping goodness he has is the only other time he ever beat Godzilla, or God Jorah. Hey, don't take that win away from him. Booker T said he won it. If the Fight Lord don't see it, he or she can't reckon it. Yeah, I guess that's all true and all. But now we're going to take it away now to Mike today. I'm going to take it away to Tony Schiavone. Sorry, stand up! Stand up! Come on! Stand up! Well, thank you, Jonathan Coachman and Mike today. I'm going to be talking with The Rock here today on Collision or Hit. On Powerrr Might. Alright, Rock, we never did get to work together. Oh, you're Tony Schiavone. Everyone liked you. You were an MACW, WWF, WCW. You were in what? XWF, TNA, MLW, AW, whatever. Yeah, I first got my first win here today in a long time against God Jorah, which I did beat in the past. And if you're asking me if there's anything wrong with my kin right now, I'm here to tell you there is nothing wrong in the Maivia Thought to Wafuda Johnson kin. I'm going to straighten everything out with Roman Reigns. But as far as my dealings with God Jorah or Godzilla or whatever he wants to call himself, he's got the God escape me for all my nicknames. Who the hell died and made him King of the Fiends? Who made him Kaiser the Fiends? I don't know who made God Jorah the King of the Fiends or the Kaiser the Fiends. I think it was only a name they gave to the first film when Toho freed it outside put it into English for the first time. I don't think God Jorah ever gave himself that rank of king or Kaiser. Yeah, hell with right, he never did. And he's got the God escape me for being the folks fighter, for being the Brahma Bull, the chosen one, the last head. And he got nicknames that he never got. But let me tell you something, Tony Schiavone. I got even. I beat the unbeatable, the unyieldable, the unstoppable God Jorah, Godzilla, whatever you want to call him. Well, Rock, you weren't the first one to ever beat him. He has won some matches and lost some matches here in the toy wrestling gathering. And as far as some of his films go, he lost only 2 fights, one to King Kong and one to Mothra. Yeah, he only lost 2 times in his films. But hey, he hasn't, but guess what? I made him lose here in the toy wrestling gathering, so that one's on me. Well, that's my talk with Rocky Maivia, The Rock, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, whatever you want to call him. Back to you, Jonathan Coachman and Mike today. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with The Rock today on Powerrr Might. And that's all the time we got here for Powerrr Might. I, Jonathan Coachman, with Mike today and Booker T. We hope you like Powerrr Might, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw.